How is everybody doing? Now, the problem they're having is no heat, or heat not as hot as it could be. Now, you as the mechanic or the guy that's planning on finding out why the heater's not working, a couple things you want to do. One is do what I'm doing right now, verifying the complaint, test driving the car to see if in fact if the heater is not working. A lot of people confuse the blower speed with heater not working. Yes, this blower works, and I have both heaters, both side unit on heat. Turn the AC off, and I got it on panel. So by now I should be blowing out heat. Okay, now before I got on the road, I verified the coolant was full and pretty much no air pocket in the system. Alright, now that I'm driving it, I can pretty much assume there's no air pocket in the system because I use my bleeder valve, by the way. Alright, anyway, let me get on with it. A couple things, like I say, drive the car, verify that actually the heater is not working. The blower is blowing, but there's no heater. Now, there's two different sides to the heater system, people. The electrical side and the plumbing side. The electrical side is pretty much the inside of the car, basically. You have your controls, your blower motor, things like that. Now, plumbing can get a little technical, a little confusing at times, okay? Because, you know, there's a small little radiator inside your dash panel called a heater core, and it has to be full with coolant at a certain temperature for your heater to function properly. If that's not the case, if you do not have that, you're gonna have a hard time producing heat. Alright, so that's one of the first things I'm gonna do when I get back in the shop. I'm headed back to Brothers Motors right now. I will measure the temperature of the inlet heater hose and the outlet heater hose, and I will base my diagnosis around that. Okay, if my inlet hose is scorching hot, yes, my cooling system from a water pump circulating standpoint is intact up to the heater core. Now, if I'm cool on the outside of the heater core, then yes, that's merely a restriction at the heater core. Okay, now if my inlet hose is cool, that means coolant is not even making it to the heater core. Then we got a problem. You could have a stuck open thermostat. You could have a restriction somewhere. You could even have a water pump failure. In fact, I did a whole complete video, quick check on your water pump, you know, as it relates to heater function. Matter of fact, I'll link it right here. Y'all go check that out. Well, anyway, I'm almost back inside the shop, and we're gonna go outside and we're gonna finish our diagnosis out there, ladies and gentlemen. So, thanks for staying with me. I'm gonna go to a little ad break right quick, and when I get back, we're gonna go outside and check the car out. Stay tuned. Stay with me. This is a 4 liter. That's right, 4 liter. Some of the caravans, they put a 4 liter, 3.3, 3.8, and the newer ones all take 3.6. But anyway, we're talking about heater. Now I left the car running because I want the coolant to circulate as much as possible. So to begin diagnosis about heater, you first have to make sure you are full of coolant and there is no air pocket. Okay, now I've been driving this car, so if anything, I've been driving it with the heater on, so likely there is no air pockets, but that's not a good way to check. You really should, if you don't have a bleeder valve or bleeder screw, you really should take one of the heater hoses off. But we're gonna assume, because I know, but I want to go ahead and make this video as fast as possible. There's no air pocket and the system is full. All right, what do you do from there? Because you can't visually see if a water pump working. You all know the water pump has to be working properly for the heater to work. You need the water pump to actually circulate the coolant. All right, let's start. This is the easiest thing to check right here. Radiator hose, upper radiator hose. All right, but mainly your biggest issue is gonna be the heater hose. All right, one of the hose routes to the intake. That's where the coolants get heat, gets its temperature, heated temperature. All right, so grab a heater hose, grab the inlet heater hose, and grab the outlet heater hose. And you really need to compare the two. If one is cooler than the other, then you have a problem. You have either restriction or simple. Your coolant is not circulating properly. All right. Now there's a slight, very slight temperature difference in the two lines. Some people use an electronic tester to test the temperature of the lines. There's a slight difference. Okay, they really should be the same if your heater core is not restricted. All right, so a couple of assumptions I want to go ahead and make. The one is, like I say, the system is full, no air pockets, and the heater core is not restricted. Just for the sake of this video. All right, but you really should check all that. Now I'm gonna let the car in the air. We're gonna check the bottom portion. All right, we're gonna take a look around and see. And also, your thermostat play a major role in heater operation too. It has to stay closed to allow the heat to reach, or to allow the coolant to reach operating temperature, you know, which then circulates throughout the system. But for now, let's get the car in the air. And we're gonna take a look at some things. I want to show you what could really stop circulating, what could stop the circulation flow of coolant. You'd be highly surprised. All right, so right now what I'm gonna do, and because we put a water pump on this car about 6 months ago, I'm gonna assume the water pump is doing its job based off that. All right, don't you assume. I really need you to test. I'm going off an assumption for this video's sake. All right, real quick, let's take another ad break. I'm gonna get this car in the air, so by the time I get back, we'll be in the air and we'll be able to finish this discussion on heater operation, all right, and diagnostic. All right, stay with me. I'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, real quick, I have the car up in the air. As you can see, well, this is like I say, it's a 4 liter, so the water pump is in this area. Now, one of the main things you need to make sure of is there's no coolant leak. There's no leaks, all right? Once you get that squared away, and like I said earlier, you know you're full of coolant, then proceed with your diagnosis. But one thing I want to show you that could affect heater operation, ladies and gentlemen, that is a restriction. Okay, now some cars, in particular this one, is equipped with an oil cooler. All right, this is the oil cooler. All right, in series there's the oil filter. What this car, or what this cooler is designed to do, is keep the oil cool. Cooler oil pretty much could mean longer engine life, so you really want your oil to stay as cool as possible. But because this is routed in line with the cooling system, this, ladies and gentlemen, can actually affect your heater. Do not disregard this oil cooler, especially, well, only, they pretty much all run, coolant runs through them to remove the heat. It's a cooler. It's just like a little bitty radiator, and takes it with it. So if you're having, I had one of these beat me up, and another technician, he replaced heater core, he replaced everything in that car, still could not get no heater. Now, the first sign of a restriction, like I say, is to measure the temperature difference between your heater core inlet hose and your outlet hose. All right, if your inlet hose is hot and your outlet hose is cool, I mean, that's normally indicates a restricted heater core. But if your inlet hose is not even warm or hot to begin with, you're never gonna get heater operation. And that can come from a restriction, okay? One of the restrictions can be this oil cooler. All right, so I just want to clear that with y'all. Like I say, this beat me up. I don't want it to beat you up. You all can learn from my mistakes. Because think about it. This hose here is coming from a port to the water pump. All right, so it goes through here, fills up this cooler. It's a little small radiator. The outward, it comes out through here and back up through the radiator. So there's a lot of things going on with this coolant route, the routing of the coolant. So a lot of things going on. So you have to be weary of that. You have to be aware of that. Doing heater diagnosis, always verify if there are restrictions, and that is one of the things that can cause restriction. All right, so listen, I don't want this video to be long. See, this is kind of cool, so I likely have a restriction. Now, I'm gonna take these hoses off, and well, blow through it is not a real accurate test, but I'm gonna do that anyway. If I take the hoses off, if I blow through here and nothing comes out, yes, you have a restriction. But there's a way to test this. I'm gonna make another video on how to do it properly, but for now, I'm pressed for time, so I'm going to remove these hoses and verify that it's not restriction. And I'm going to eventually end up replacing this, okay? Because coming in is kind of warm. That comes from the water pump, which tells me the water pump is trying to circulate the coolant. It's just that there's a restriction somewhere. All right, so that's all I have, man. That's something in this video right here. We'll talk some more later about heater. It's still cold. It's still, we in the beginning part of January. There's still some winter season left, so we still can discuss heater operation. All right, but for now, I'm gonna get out of here, man. Thanks for watching. Comment and subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the next video.